My job, of course, today, I'm the support act, I'm the warm-up. So, and if you can bear with me, you know, I'm no longer district governor, but for the purposes of this, we'll pretend for the next half an hour or so that I'm still district governor. It all changed at midnight on Wednesday. On my Rotary, on the profile, after midnight, when I clicked on it, it said Calum Thompson, Club Foundation Chair. So that's what I am. Welcome everybody, welcome to the garden. You never thought you'd end up at a handover in a garden. And last year we were on Zoom. Amazing how things change. And it's good to see you all. And when I say it's good to see you all, it's not about the pleasantries, it's literally, it is good to see you all in the flesh. I can almost touch you. It's not the same when I see your picture, your image on that computer, on that laptop, with the same background, the same books or the same wallpaper. It's so good to see you all in person today. So thank you all. Now, I don't know, have we got any raffle prizes today? Because at our last real handover in 2019, I provided a bottle of whiskey for the raffle prizes, and I brought raffle prizes along today.
No raffle.
Do we have? Oh well, what am I going to do with these raffle prizes I brought along today? One, I have about 3 or 4 boxes of masks. If you're planning a Rotary event, a district conference perhaps, or a district council event, you might need some of these. So I've got plenty of these for anybody that needs some. I've also got a bag here, a bag of Rotary Opens Opportunities banners. Got 50 Rotary Opportunities banners. Would that not make a good prize? I think it would. These are absolutely unique banners because, as I found out when I opened them a few weeks ago, they're bespoke banners. They're actually, if I pull one out here, you can see it says Rotary Opens Opportunities, Rotary, and at the bottom it's got a name, Saeed Najjar, Governor 2020-2021, Governor 9010. So that poor guy, Saeed, is still, I think it's Tunisia, I think he's still probably looking to what happened to my Rotary Opens Opportunities banners that I ordered all those months ago. Well, we've got them. And of course, I also have as a raffle prize 100 Rotary Opens Opportunity badges. What am I going to do with these? Anyway, let's dust off, not the dandruff but the dust, as we get a chance to come together and celebrate today at our handover. Now, it's my first pleasure, my duty to do something that should have been done last year, is to present the badge, the past district governor's badge, to immediate past district governor Joe, who was last year but is no longer. So Joe, if you want to come into the box there, it's at the front, and pick up your badge. That's to celebrate all you've done for Rotary as we connected the world, in 2019-20. Just taking you a year.
Thank you very much.
Well done. Right now, as I say, I am the warm-up acts, but I've got some things to say, and I'll be as long or as brief as the clouds dictate. But I just want to say thank you to you, the district team, for all your efforts in 2020-21. What a year. It began with a COVID pandemic and it ends with the COVID pandemic. We ran the whole year restricted and constrained, and there was nothing we could do about it. But the district team, they did their absolute best to motivate and inspire all our Rotarians. And it was hard. You know it was hard, and though I've never acknowledged all the emails because there's too many, I do appreciate all those area reports, the club assembly reports, the district team leader reports. Much appreciated. It really does show that Rotary is making a difference. Pandemic or not, we can make a huge difference, and we have opened opportunities this year. It's not good to pick out any individual as part of the district team, but I've got to pick out Ian and Narek, our treasurer and secretary, not for what they did as treasurer and secretary, but the additional stuff they did, that's not in the job description, is as secretary and treasurer. So thank you, you two. And of course, the club leaders, the presidents, and I can see one or two presidents here today. You're the ones that hold the top job, or did hold the top job in Rotary, club president. You had to lead the club in these unprecedented times. How difficult is that, to try and keep your club together, to try and bring people that don't want to be on Zoom into a meeting, how you communicate, how you keep people inspired, how you stop them leaving. You've done a fantastic job. Club presidents, district team, you've seen it through the whole year. You never gave up, you never gave in. Thank you so much for all that you do. And you know, in 2020-21, I reckon there are one or two clubs, maybe 3 or 4, maybe 1 or 2 others, who've actually had their best year ever. I really do believe that. It's difficult to tell, of course, because not everything's measurable, but I think some clubs have had their best year ever. Amazing. Unfortunately, as I say, not everything is measurable, because Rotary clubs, Rotarians, do not tell district governors, assistant governors, even the club themselves, they don't tell the story of what we do in Rotary. It's so frustrating that I do not know, we do not know all the great work we've done last year. As I say, it's not particularly measurable because not every club uses Rotary Club Central. And if you used Rotary Club Central, you could have qualified for a Rotary citation in 2020-21. And I want to recognise the 7 clubs that have qualified for the citation here today. They are the Rotary Club of Eyemouth, Mick, well done. And the Rotary Club of Livingston, Lizette, well done again. From the west area, we have the Rotary Club of Kilsyth. From the borders, the Rotary Club of Selkirk. From the city area, the Rotary Clubs of Curry-Balerno and Edinburgh. So, and in the east, the Rotary Club of Trinent. Oh, so that's a good one for me. So well done. Well done to those 7 clubs. Talking about how we measure success and failure. Sad to say that our membership's fallen. Our membership's fallen. It's a decline consistent over the last few years, and it's consistent across Great Britain and Ireland. Today, the Rotary International database says we have 1,215 members. The DMS says 1,212. That's sad, bit depressing, I guess, that we continue to lose this year over 100 members, perhaps not unexpected. Really, really bad news, except there are a couple of glimpses of hope. We did recruit over 60 new members into Rotary in District 1020 last year. That's more than 1 per club. So we are still bringing people in, despite not offering a meal, not meeting face to face, we could still bring in 60 members. So what can we do when we can meet, when we can get together, when we can sell this wonderful organisation called Rotary? And of course, that 1215, that doesn't count those members, Rotarians of equal standing in our district, who are not members of a club, but are part of the Rotary Global Hub. Until we can merge that database together, we can only guess, and I'm guessing there might be 30, 35 members in the Global Hub, which would mean that we've lost less than 100 members last year. Now, I'm in a bit of a quandary here, because we have fallen membership on one hand, and as I juxtapose fallen membership on one hand with increased giving to polio on the other, I'm getting confused here. We've increased our giving to polio, the best giving to polio, for 4 years, and we never met. How did that happen? Can you explain it? Something to ponder as you drive home. We've actually increased our giving to polio, despite the membership falling. And to compound it more, the conundrum gets even more perplexing. Our giving to Rotary Foundation, the annual fund, has gone up. It's the best per capita giving for 5 years. Actual giving's gone up. So how do you balance that? I really don't know. Perhaps one of you can answer that question and explain it. I can make 3 points, 3 observations that might help. One, perhaps we didn't lose any Rotarians last year, we just lost members, and there's a difference. Losing members and losing Rotarians. Perhaps we shouldn't fixate about all things measurable. Forget about quantity and focus on quality. Or, and this is my very, very last thing I want to say, perhaps I was right all along, way back in August 2017 when I was elected District Governor nominee, way back down in Peebles, District Governor for 2020-21, when I said the best days of Rotary are still to come. We do so much more now than what we ever did in the past. That's me. Thank you very much. The end. Honour and privilege of presenting the 10-20 District Governors chain to our incoming Governor, Ken Robertson. Yes, this is a historical moment because Ken may well be the very last District 10-20 District Governor. So you're privileged to be here to witness this event. I've said before about you, Ken, member of Rotary since 2007, Cumbernauld President 2010-11, first Governor from Cumbernauld. You've served all the key roles in our district as District Trainer, Assistant Governor, and you've even served beyond the district level already for Rotary GBI as part of the Constitutions Committee and as part of the Leadership Development and Training Team. So I can think of no one better to lead us in 21-22.
They disagree.
Than you can, because you've got the knowledge, you've got the experience, you've got the skill set. So the future now belongs to you, Ken. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much, Calum. You can see the difference right away that the professional didn't have any notes. The newcomer needs to refer to his notes just to make sure he's covering everything he wanted to do. The first thing I want to say, however, is to reiterate what Calum said. How wonderful it is to really see everyone here in person. I really appreciate, because I know some like Joe have come a very long way, some have come quite a long way, so thank you very much for taking the time to come and join us this morning. We're going to do 2 things, as you know. I'm very pleased that Rotary has added the environment as a 7th area of focus from the 1st of July. And we thought it was very important to mark that occasion. And so you will see, thankfully with the guide to help Bobby, and I'll talk about that later, Calum and I trying to put a tree into the ground. But we think it will be a great way to mark that occasion. And along with that, this is also the National Day of Thanks, something that Rotary is getting involved in, and others all over the country are also being involved in, to say to people who they are grateful for and to thank them for the past year. But it's also a district handover with these additions, and we have the opportunity to reflect back on a year in Rotary in District 10-20, so ably led by DG, or should I say IPDG, Calum, and the things he talked about, the work that you do, it really is immense. We knew we were gaining a very committed and experienced Rotarian when Calum Thompson was elected to be our District Governor for 2020-2021. Here was someone who had fulfilled many Rotary positions, both in the club and at district level. He'd been an RI Assistant Coordinator, and he served Rotary, not just in this district, but also in Hong Kong and subsequently in Wales, before he came back to his home in District 1020. He is also very involved with the Rotary Global History Fellowship, so he's absorbed in the history and the life of Rotary. We knew we were in good and safe hands for the year ahead when Calum took over. When as DGE, Calum returned from his International Assembly training in San Diego in January 2020, enthused and charged up with all the plans for the year ahead. Little did neither he, nor the current DG at that time, Joe, nor indeed any of us, know what was to change in a few short months. From making travel arrangements to club visits, having a range of youth and other competitions to attend and look forward to, the enjoyment of clubs, programmes, activities, the events, everything that Rotary and Rotarians do. There was so much for Calum to organise and see to, and then, in a very, very short space of time, everything changed. In fact, the world almost stopped in March last year. Well, maybe, but not completely. Because Rotarians, like yourselves, love a challenge. And very quickly, we started to hear about great ideas and works in progress from clubs as they adapted to the pandemic. Because Rotarians don't leave things to others. Rotarians, like yourselves, are people of action. And so, Joe and Calum had to quickly adapt our Rotary to these, and I suppose I should whisper it, unprecedented times. On the 17th of March 2020, District Secretary Ian was cancelling the district support team meeting in Linlithgow. And for the rest of Joe's year, and subsequently for all of Calum's year, there were no face-to-face gatherings until today. So again, thank you so much for coming along today. That has enabled DG or IP DG to attend at least one event in person, and I'm really grateful for that. From that point back in March 2020, I think most of our mail was filling up with COVID-19 updates, with either rearranged, postponed, cancelled attached to these notes. I changed from working in the office to having to work from home as we all decanted, and I think at that stage Calum would be realising that a lot of his Rotary service would be from his own home. I don't know if you were thinking like me, Calum, that this might not last too long, and I kind of anticipated I'd be back in the office about September. I'm not sure whether you thought that you might be actually doing club visits, just hold fire for a few months. But that didn't happen. In any event, it wasn't to be at all during that year that we've just passed, and the world of Zoom seemed to take us over. From club assemblies to the district handover, Calum had to adapt and change the ways so many previous DJs had begun their year. And I'm sure Lindsay, Alan will testify that it was totally different for them, and indeed even Jo at the start of her year. So I would like to thank Calum for the excellent support and assistance he gave to his team and all the clubs to deal with the new normal. One of the main events for any Rotary year is the District Assembly, which usually took place one Sunday in May with loads of people all gathered together. But very quickly, DG Calum, aided by training leader Lindsay, had to reorganise and create an online event. But we went ahead with that. We started with a very creative and motivating plenary session from Calum and ran through the week with different sessions with greater attendances, more people involved than ever had been on the Sunday. So there are good things that come out of Zoom. It was an excellent success with everyone and the district team working together, ably led by Calum. Sadly, however, one event that could not proceed was the district conference, which was due to be held in Peebles in October 2020. Despite considering numerous options, it was just not possible to proceed, although no costs were lost to our district with that cancellation. Calum touched on this himself, and in his opening remarks from the July 2020 edition of our new online magazine, which Calum helped to initiate, he said, "We are only just beginning to see the opportunities that lie ahead." We are only just beginning to see the opportunities that lie ahead. But for the time being, Calum, like the rest of us, became accustomed to new meaning for phrases such as community spread, which was not another great Rotary campaign maximising our positive public image in the local community, or indeed flattening the curve, which was not about an overweight DG who needs to do some more exercise to get rid of his bulge. And then there's a completely different meaning for contact tracing. It wasn't the initiative for a clever membership drive to track new members. It meant something totally different. And of course, that phrase on everybody's lips at some point in any Zoom meeting, "You're on mute!" Although Calum did tell me that that can sometimes be quite beneficial when you're sitting in governing council meetings. There is, however, one word frequently used during the pandemic, which we knew exactly what it meant, as Calum so clearly epitomised in his actions as our district leader, and that was resilience. In such a period of change, uncertainty, and even sometimes confusion, Calum was calm and resilient in his support of all clubs and Rotarians throughout the district. His ability to act through potential crises is one of descriptions of resilience, and we know and thank Calum for his willingness and ability to deal with the potential issues and problems as he led our district in the most difficult of times for everyone. At this point, we might have shown a video highlighting some of Calum's many activities. However, this time it's rather different. Nevertheless, we still have a familiar picture that we can show DG Calum hard at work during his Rotary year, providing service and supporting Rotarians. And we can do it even outside in the Peace Garden. So Elizabeth, can you please set that up for everyone to see? As Calum said, no expense spared. We did find many more pictures of Calum at work, but unfortunately they're all the same. So many times. And that rather sums up the spread of his year. Zoom after Zoom, with maybe occasionally, for a little bit of variety, a Teams meeting instead. I wonder, Calum, if you have any idea of just how many Zoom meetings you attended over the past year. But despite these restrictions, DG Calum remained positive, always seeking and giving collective support and taking action where he needed to help and progress Rotary in District 1020. DG Calum, you have kept the district team together. You've kept the district team together. You've helped clubs throughout the district. You've worked with your other DGs, maintaining positive relationships with RIBI and other organisations. And you've worked with the team to set up a very important, a unique, in fact, virtual training exchange with District 3450 in Hong Kong, which will continue to progress, enhancing the understanding of COVID for this district, that district, and perhaps, hopefully, all of Rotary in Scotland and other medical professionals for some time ahead. And that is a remarkable achievement. I'm very fortunate to have Calum's knowledge and skills as part of the team during my DG year, as not only will he be immediate past district governor, but he will also continue to be our district magazine editor. And he has very kindly agreed to take on the important role of assistant district secretary to Ian, as we plan ahead for the potential merger of District 1230 and our district for DGE Duncanshere in 2022-23. We know that Calum's support will be invaluable. So may I again commend Calum in regard to resilience, which, to quote, is when you address uncertainty with flexibility. As I said in my opening remarks, this is a time for reflection, to look back on a year like no other and all that Rotary has achieved, so ably led by DG Calum, who despite all the restrictions continually adapted to ensure that Rotary opens opportunities. Thank you, Calum. Thank you. Now, before we hand over the badges, we're going to plant a tree. I would say at this time that I'm extremely grateful to Cumbernauld past President Bobby Johnson, who's standing over there, for making the arrangements in the Peace Garden for today.
And digging the hole.
Thankfully, he doesn't trust us. Bobby, Cumbernauld Rotarians, the Cumbernauld Environmental Society and others helped to create this garden out of a wilderness, and a band of willing helpers works every Saturday to maintain the garden to the wonderful standard that you see today. So our grateful thanks go to Bobby and everyone else for enabling this event to take place here today, the hard work they did yesterday and earlier this morning. As I said earlier, we thought it appropriate to recognise and support the addition of the environment as our 7th area of focus. And what better way than to plant a tree? Something that I shall encourage all clubs to consider, together with revisiting many of the successful tree planting projects undertaken during DG or PDG Lindsay's year. As I said earlier, Rotary is also recognising and supporting National Thank You Day today. So I would ask you, whilst we plant this lovely tree, to reflect back on those you wish to thank for the past year. I would like to think of this as a tree of hope and opportunity, as well as remembrance. And later on, there is going to be another small tree that will sit there with tokens beside it. And if you care, I would like you to just write very briefly your hope for the year ahead and put it on the tree. Elizabeth will show you where it is. You can put your name on it if you wish, or not, that's entirely up to you. But do take the chance to just reflect back and think what your hopes are, whether for Rotary or on the wider field for the year ahead. But, Bobby, can you now keep us right as we step up to plant the tree up there, and then we'll come back to do the presentation of district partners.
Yeah, the one's going to make sure it's standing up straight.
I'm holding it.
You forward.
This might take some time. Wow, Calum, look like you're enjoying it.
I think the work is to do in his own garden.
That'll have been as much as it could ever do with the
Is that okay?
That'll do it.
Say the chain, I'll get
Okay.
What's your feet there?
Bobby.
Bobby.
Bobby, you stay in.
Get a
No,
video
you come in as well. And I'm extremely fortunate to have here the team leaders and district support team that are really committed to serving Rotary, and I couldn't really ask for a better team, so thank you so much for all that you have done and all that you will do in the year ahead. I really appreciate it. It's great to be serving with you all. So I'm going to call the names out. I would ask you to please come forward and collect your envelope. Unfortunately, there's no hugs, no handshakes. We have to bear that part in mind. So if I just call out, and they should be in the correct order. just collect your badge. So the first one, the great pleasure to pass, and it's not a year late this time, it's the immediate past District Governor, Calum. Please come forward. Next one, DGE Duncan. DGE Duncan actually got his DGN badge about a month ago. So he hasn't kept it long, but he can come forward and get his DGE badge. It's in there, Duncan.
2010.
Yeah, you got it. That's it. Next one, and Narek mentioned it before, key members of the team. District Secretary Ian. That should be right. That's it there. And the man with the money, District Treasurer Narek. I'll give you your badge back.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. I thought. There you are.
The people that keep the clubs in the various areas working together and building up what the connection is between district and clubs. So I'm delighted that we have 4 of the AGs here today. The 2 others are down south. So first of all, AG Ken. That's it, should be there, Ken.
Thank you.
Well done, thank you very much. The next one is AG Ian. And then we have AG Jim, joining the team for the first time this year. That's it there.
Thanks very much.
I'm also very pleased to announce that we have a new AG joining the team. We had to make a change in the AGs, and it's with great pleasure that I ask AG Lizette Bingham from Livingston to come forward. That's yours. Your badge has been ordered, Lizette, and I'll get it to you as soon as it comes through. Well done. Thank you. Then we have a man with great knowledge and experience, Foundation Team Leader, Alan. There you are.
Thank you very much, sir. Cheers.
He's followed by Training Team Leader, Lindsay, someone else with great past experience. There you go. The next person's big job is yet to come as we count down to October the 23rd and 24th. If you haven't yet booked for the district conference here again in lovely Cumbernauld, you can come back and see the Peace Garden again. So district conference team leader Elizabeth. Followed by, I didn't see, community service team leader Lewis. I didn't see Lewis. Yeah, there you are, hiding in the tent. Hold on.
Thank you.
Working in our local communities, doing things there is so important. I think Lewis's hardest job is just getting clubs to tell us what they're doing. So if you can encourage your own clubs and others to just tell and share the great work that they do. And then the man that does, you never quite see him in the proper way because he's always behind the scenes doing all the hard work that shows the great things that Rotary does. And without the expertise of our public image team leader, Calum, we wouldn't get the message across. So Calum, please come across. Okay.
Thank you.
IPDG, and I haven't got used to saying that, IPDG Calum mentioned about how the numbers have fallen and how there is a lot of work, and yes, quality is more important than quantity, but we need hands to do the work, so we do need to obtain membership. So I would ask new district membership team leader David to come forward.
right at the back.
Yeah, no particular order. Thanks, Dan. And the final one, I just want to, at this stage, I hope to get out to as many clubs as I possibly can physically and present President's Badge to all of these clubs. But I'm going to take advantage of this first issue to ask our own club president, Ian Gibson, to come forward and collect his President's Badge. There you go, Ian.
Brilliant, thank you.
Watch the cable. He's the risk assessor. Thank you again so much for coming. Just before we conclude the formalities, there's homemade cakes, there's tea, coffee, everything else there. So do please take this opportunity when we're back together again, meeting face to face for the first time for a very long time. Do take the chance to catch up, relax, have a walk around the garden, and thank you again so much for coming. I really appreciate you. It's so great to see everybody, and hopefully this will not be the last of many occasions when we can all physically get together and enjoy the fellowship, the friendship of Rotary, which is such a wonderful organisation. So thank you all once again, but I'll ask Ian to come forward and do the formal vote of thanks.
Staying away from the wire this time.
Just put it on the top.
First of all, I'd like to thank all of you for making the effort and taking the time to come here on a lovely sunny Sunday morning. I'd also like to thank the Environmental Society who maintain this Peace Garden with help from the Cumbernauld Rotary Club. And obviously, as Ken mentioned previously, it was a derelict site before Bobby Johnson and company got involved in it. I'd also like to thank Bobby especially for making the arrangements to provide and source the tree that we've planted. And I'd also like to think we could maybe take a moment sometime today to reflect on those who you have to be thankful to over the past year. So again, thank you all very much for attending, and enjoy your tea and coffee, and hope to see you again soon.